Hello, everyone. I'm Suin and I'm the founder of Forward Roots. Today, I want to show you how to create a basic food label for free using Canva. It's a primer to get you started, so you can take the information, get as creative as you want using their templates, elements, or simply text and colors. You might be just starting out, and now you're ready to sell at a farmer's market. Until your production is at a certain scale, you can save money by designing and printing your own labels at home or through an online printing service. It's not your forever label, but it can certainly get you started. You'll find yourself going through several revisions over time until you get to a more permanent design. Now, before I get onto Canva, I want to go over a few slides that cover basic food labeling requirements, things to prepare before you create the label, and a couple of printing terms. So for label requirements, please go through the FDA's food labeling guide to ensure that you provide complete and accurate information for your specific product. You can find the guide on www.fda.gov. The guide establishes placement of specific information, wording, minimum type size, prominence, such as bold text or use of large caps, and other product-related requirements. Determine the essential information you need to provide on your label. The placement of the information is determined by panels. The principal display panel, or the PDP for short, is the panel that faces your customer. If you were using only one panel, you can insert all the compulsory information on the PDP. Otherwise, you can add an additional panel, and the second panel is called the information panel, which is located on the right side of the PDP. So if you choose to use two panels, the principal display panel will have the statement identity, which is a common name of the food. It must also indicate the net quantity of contents, and that will be placed at the bottom of the label, given in weight, measure, or numeric count. It's required in both metric and US customary system. The information panel to the right of the PDP will provide the ingredient list in descending order of predominance by weight. You must also provide the name and address of the company, and other information that might be relevant are things like the nutrition facts. Now, when you're starting at a farmer's market, they generally don't require this. Plus, there are exemptions for small businesses. So for more information, you can go onto FDA's site. If, however, you did choose to provide one, you can create up to two using recipel.com for free. If you have a refrigerated or frozen product, you'll need to provide storage information. And lastly, a contained statement is required for the food sources of major food allergens. Here we have a sample of our label. You'll notice we have three panels here. The PDP is in the center, and the information panel is located to the right of it. We also have a third panel on the far left, and we use that to provide additional information such as our website, social media handles, product use, and UPC code. Now, before designing the label, there's a few things I like to have ready. I write all the necessary copy on a Word document. This way, everything is proofread in advance, and I can simply copy and paste onto the label design. You also want to identify the label's shape and size based on the product container. So here we have a straight-sided jar on the diagram. I've identified the maximum height and circumference, which is the maximum label size that can accommodate this jar. Now, whether you print your own label using Avery labels or a printing service such as Sticker Mule or Gotprint, generally they have their own standard label sizes and shapes. Some might offer custom sizes, but that comes at a premium. So for us to keep within budget, I usually work with standard label sizes in the beginning. And as our printing needs grow, we switch to professional printing manufacturer for custom labels. And lastly, to create your label design, you want to register for a Canva account at www.canva.com. So on our last slide, I want to acknowledge a couple of printing terms that you're going to come across when designing and printing your labels. There's the margin. This is inside the label within the cutting tolerance. So if you're using borders around the edges, keep it thick. If using text, keep it away from the margins. Also, there's the print bleed. This deals with the edges on the label and beyond, and it accounts for any shift or misalignment when printing or trimming. It prevents unwanted gaps or borders when using graphics or background colors. The example on our diagram here illustrates the green circles extending beyond the edge of the label to prevent these white gaps. Now, let's move on to Canva. We are now logged onto Canva and on the home page. To create your custom label, go to Design Anything and go to the top right here to Custom Size, and you're going to click. Then you want to make your labels in inches, so you're going to select IN and then insert your dimensions for width and height. We've got 7 inches in width, 2 inches in height. And then click on Create New Design. And then you've got your label right here. Now let's give a name to our design. We're going to go up here. I also like to add the label size on the name so I can identify. Now, from the start, I also like to add in rulers, guides, margins, and print bleeds. So we're going to go to File here and click on Ruler. And you'll see the rulers run across the top as well as along the side down here. And these are provided in inches, and it's going to help you by identifying the exact placement of elements on the label. Let's put in our guides next. So you go back to File, click on Guides, and you're going to go to the side ruler here. And as you do that, you'll notice your cursor changing in shape. So you're going to click, hold, and drag, and bring this vertical line to where you want your first panel to start. And then you're going to bring a second line guide if you wanted to create a 3-panel label. You can also do the same thing with horizontal guidelines for other uses. Next, we'll put in our margins. Go back to File, select Margins, and these are represented with these dotted lines right here. And then lastly, we'll put in our print bleed. Next, we'll select a template for the label, and you can find this on the side tab here. And you're going to select Template, and then you've got all these different templates available to you. And as you hover over the design, you'll see this little bubble with the word free on it. These are the different choices that are available for free. And you can see there's a lot of varieties here. You can click on it to see what it looks like on your design. Or you can come up here and put the name of your template in. So this is a specific template I want to work with. And let's say you wanted to go back to a previous template, you can always click the back button to avoid scrolling up and down. Now that we've made our selection, let's close the template section. Now, if you wanted to zoom in or out on this label, you can always use the scale down here, the sliding, going from small to large, or you can also click on the number. If you have elements you don't need, you can remove them by clicking on it and dragging it off to the side, or you can click on it and hit the garbage can. So we're going to get rid of all these different elements that we don't need. Let's say you want to change the background color. Click on the background, go to the colored square and click. You can select colors from these default colors down here. Or for new colors, you can click on this multicolored box with the plus sign. And then you've got down here a color picker. And as you move that, side to side, you'll see the different colors. We want to work with the red, so we'll bring it back here. And then up here, you've got a circle, and you can move that around and select a shade of red. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I want to keep the background white. Now let's look at the different design elements. And we can change these colors by clicking on the box and doing the same thing that we just did with the background colors. And then I want to make these different elements less opaque. So I'm going to click on it, go to the transparency up here, the multi-squared box. And there's a scale here you can move side to side. And there's also a number here in the box, and that identifies the transparency level. And where that's useful is if you wanted to apply that same level of transparency across all your different elements. So now let's work on our text. We're going to go to the side tab bar here again, click on T for text. You can select from any one of these up here. There are different sizes, or you can select from these font combinations down here. And again, when you hover on one of these choices, you'll notice that the little free button pops up again. So these are all free to you. And you can click on it and see how it lands on your label. But I'm going to go up here and select the top one here. Insert my product name. And then position that. You'll see these little pink lines that come up, and they help you identify the center of the panel. Now to adjust the font size, you can click on the text box again. You can then go up here and click on the decrease or increase, or you can click on the number and select your font size. And then the other choice you have is by taking the corner and dragging it in and out. Now to change the font type, click on the text box again, go to the top, and click on the A. And you've got your default colors again and the same options you did for the background. So I'm going to keep it black. And then next, we're going to change the font type. So again, you click on the text box, you go to the current name, and you click. And then you've got all these different font types available to you. The ones with the golden crown are available to premium account subscribers. But as you see, there's plenty of choices here. And you can click on these to see what they look like on your label. Or you can go up here in the search box and type in your font. There we go. So that. I want to bold my product name. So I'm going to go up here, click on the text box. There we go. We can also add more text, like let's say the net weight. We're going to go back to the text box. You need to fold that, and then we're going to drag it down to the bottom. There we go. And then I want to add additional copy. Start that over. Next, I want to add a logo. So you're going to go onto the side here and click Uploads. And you can either put in all your images, beforehand, so you can, as you work along, you can insert it. Otherwise, you can go into Upload Media on top. You're going to select from device if it's on your computer, and then go to your file. And select. And then you'll have your image uploaded into your collection of images. You're going to select the image, and that'll bring it onto your label. You want to place that. Now my logo has too much white space, on top and bottom, so I'm going to crop it. So you click on it and go up to crop, and then you're going to drag the corner up and the other corner down. There we go. And then we can move that up. You can also change the size of the image by taking the corner and dragging it. Let's say you're happy with the spacing of these elements. You can group these so you don't accidentally shift anything while you're working. So you're going to click on everything as you hold down your shift button, and then go up here and click group. So now you've got this all as one piece. You can move that around, and you can keep it in place without moving anything. If there's elements you want to group, you can also do that by clicking on, let's move this here. You can click it by clicking and dragging your cursor. And then what it does is it temporarily groups your items together. And then once you release, that temporary group is gone. Now we're ready to add some text on our information and additional panels. Right here, I've got my Word document open with the copy prepared. And as you've noticed, I've got certain words in bold and in large caps. So I can simply just copy and paste into the sections. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I've gone ahead and inserted all the different texts in the respective panels. And now we've got a finished basic label here. So on our principal panel display, we've got our company logo, the product name, the net weight. On the information panel, we have the ingredients list, the contain statement, storage information, and the company name and address. On the additional panel here, I've got product use and some other additional information. So that's basically it. Now, let's say you have other products, say in different flavors. You can duplicate the label and use it as a template for the other labels. So you're going to go up here on the top right and click on the duplicate page icon. And this way, all the elements and their spacing remains consistent. So what you can do is you can put in your other product name. You can go ahead and change the colors, change some of that copy that's suited for that particular product. And then you can also name your label. And then once you have more than one label, you can also name the first label. So now that you've completed your work and you want to download the file, you can go to the top up here to the download button. You can click. You can select the file type. I'm going to keep it as the PNG. And then you'll notice some of these other choices here that are more faint. These are not available for free. As you see that there are gold crowns here. These are for the subscribers. And then we want to download each label individually. You can download as a whole. However, you want to download separate files for each label for printing. So you're going to go here to select pages and click on the first label and click done. And now you're ready to download onto your computer. And then you'll select where you want to download that file. So this concludes our session. I hope you enjoyed it and find it useful. Up next is a short video of Forward Roots naturally fermented kimchi sauces and its use. Please stay tuned. And thank you so much for joining me today. Bye-bye.
So the kimchi sauce is traditional in flavors, but its application is really for the modern cook. I was working in corporate, I was extremely busy, so I never had time to replicate these things on my own. So my mom used to send me care packages. She did this every year till she passed away. I started really missing those flavors, so I decided to create this kimchi sauce. So the Forward Roots kimchi sauces contain all the traditional ingredients you're going to find in kimchi. Things like the gochugaru, which is the chili pepper, fresh ingredients like onion, garlics, and ginger. We also use whole grains like rice rather than the rice powder. The sauce itself is really very convenient. It's versatile, so it allows you to take these flavors and not only make kimchi, but also use it to flavor other dishes. I love being able to take the flavors of my childhood and infuse them into dishes my family has learned to love. It can add freshness, brightness to any recipe. Some of my favorites are to transform mac and cheese into a flavorful meal, add heat to fresh vegetables or fruits. You can try it on pineapples. It's one of our favorites. Create a fast and fresh party dip with cream cheese, or use it as you would any condiment on a sandwich. I'm inspired by the endless possibilities. I can't wait to see what other people create. Kimchi is very personal to me, and I hope to become a part of your life on your table.